You'll never have a friend like me. Aladdin!
Mr. James Hsu.
Chasing cinema.
We are here at AMC Town Square for the premiere of Aladdin, Disney's latest live-action remake. 1992, we traveled back to when I was only a 1-year-old.
And I was 82, 1910.
So way before I knew anything about movies, Aladdin, Disney was handed an Oscar, actually 2 Oscars for this movie if I remember correctly. A Whole New World for Best Original Song
Great song.
Best Music.
Come on.
You know, if anything Disney deserved back in 1992 with groundbreaking animation was at least some of the love for some of the most memorable songs that will live in infamy forever all time. Yeah. But now, here we are, remaking Aladdin along with we remade everything else. We all know how I feel. I've not liked a Disney live-action remake up until this point. Dumbo really was, you know, really far off. Beauty and the Beast was okay, like I didn't need it, but it wasn't the most harmful thing in the world. And we had Maleficent, we had Cinderella, which I didn't really like. All of these movies not really doing much for me, but now a movie that I did have a strong connection with. Beauty and the Beast, of course, I did too. It just felt very different. This one looks like it's trying to kind of recreate that Aladdin spirit. Were you a fan of Aladdin growing up? Was that one of your favorites going through the VHS player?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, like repeat, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, Robin Williams.
Yeah,
It's hard to beat. So,
but Mork and Mindy freaked me out, to be honest. I didn't like that. I didn't like Mork and Mindy. Like, no. I did not like it was like
man, we're showing our age right now.
But anyway, Aladdin though for me, bro. There's the Mount Rushmore of Disney films.
Yes.
Aladdin.
Yes.
Pocahontas.
Okay.
Of course, Lion King.
Yes.
That's a no-brainer.
Lion King is the George Washington.
Pocahontas.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said that already.
Yeah, you did actually. You
and
said
Tarzan.
Pocahontas, Tarzan, Lion King, Aladdin, and then you have
Mulan.
Mulan. Okay.
That's like.
Those are the 5. Huh?
Yeah, and then the Goofy movie is gonna get etched in there somewhere.
It gets a mention down here.
Eye to eye.
Yeah. That's definitely the like underrated Walt Disney Studios movie.
No one talks about it, but it's seriously one of the greats, dude.
Because that was, I mean, I don't really know how that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Pauly Shore. Wasn't
cheddar. We're getting off track.
So we are.
And I apologize.
So anyway, I also really liked Aladdin. I mean, of course, it was a movie that I loved growing up. Nowhere near as much as Lion King, not as much as Hunchback of Notre Dame, but Aladdin was a movie that, of course, we watched.
They're making that live action.
Yeah, that's so. Well, they've done that. They did that way before the Disney one, so I'm not too.
No, but with your accuracy.
Yeah. So
again, we
anyway,
digress.
but with the trailers of Aladdin, I watched some CinemaCon I watched some footage at the last CinemaCon, not even this year's, but 2018 CinemaCon, and I was like, whoa, I'm not really sure about this. And then it was announced that Will Smith was cast as Genie. Now, as much as you and I are like, you know, big fans of the 90s.
I love Will Smith.
And you know, love the 90s Will Smith. I've really kind of turned a leaf against Will. Not personally, just I've not seen something that Will Smith has done that I've really enjoyed in a long time, and that's kind of a bummer.
And I think that's fair.
You know, I mean, and yeah. And
After Earth.
I honestly think that Will Smith is bound to go and totally revolutionize the TV show market. I think Will Smith doing the blogging and stuff on YouTube is gonna change the way that we have like talk shows like Ellen. I think Will Smith is just gonna travel, you're gonna hang out with his family, it's gonna be like constantly hanging out with the Smiths, and he's just gonna
Gemini
change
Man looks good to me.
So I haven't even watched the trailer for Gemini Man, but definitely on the list. And of course, like no one forgets, like Will Smith, of course, is a talented actor, but he has different ambitions as a father and doing all of these projects. But I will say, as a Genie, like many people, I was like, huh, okay. And it's not even because, granted, I, you know, love Robin Williams. It wasn't that I'm like, no, only Robin Williams could be the Genie. It's just Will, to me, really kind of shakes that ground where it could go one way or it could go another. Of course, he has a musical background, but an interesting blend, to say the least. But all said and done, Aladdin has arrived.
Well, also, when I first saw the first trailer,
Yes.
I gotta say, I go scared. Like, I'm so jacked for this movie, but when I saw the first trailer, I was like, oh.
Yeah, when that first footage,
good.
yeah.
That blue did not look good, and I was just like, oh no.
And this was far out though. This was like a year ago now. Probably when
was
the
that
first.
really?
Probably when like
no,
first
no.
footage dropped,
That first trailer was probably not even.
First full trailer, like not even teaser.
No, the first time he even came out, I would probably say that was like 6 months ago.
Wow. Feels like it's been around forever.
And I was a little scared, to be honest with you. But then when the first full trailer came out, I said, all right,
Okay.
all right, all right.
All right, so
We just got out.
here and now, Aladdin. What do you think?
I loved it. I loved it, dude. I had so much fun during that movie.
Yeah.
I know for a fact a lot of it was nostalgia. I can admit that.
Yeah.
But I really, really enjoyed myself from the beginning of the movie to the very end. The songs were great. And if it wasn't for Batman, believe it or not, consistently changing Batman,
Yeah.
I would have also thought, dude, Ron Williams.
Yeah.
He's the only genie. But you see so many Batmans, you're like, Michael Keaton was cool. It was great. And then the next three, and then we won't talk really too much. But Christian Bale was like, oh, crap. You know, and then Ben Affleck, oh, crap. You know, these are like...
Yeah.
So, I think that if you can just...
Make it your own.
Yeah,
it's
if you can just ignore...
your own.
Okay, this isn't Ron Williams.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another story. It's the same story, but different people. As long as you can get over that, to me, I think you're going to really, really have a lot of fun in the movie. And another thing I wanted to say real quick was I forgot what I was gonna say, but I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
the
a lot
music,
of fun.
yeah, I like the new song "Speechless." That was cool too. I don't know if it won't be like "Let It Go" or anything like that, but I like the song, and I liked how they changed some of the story. I liked how they made Jasmine more powerful. I liked how they didn't make the Sultan Dumpling idiot. Basically, that was cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So, it's very rare that I kind of get in my head and start questioning things. And this movie, I will say, had me at one point kind of question if I was even in like the right mental state. So I've been really sick all week, and then I came to this movie and I'm watching it and I'm like, I don't know if I'm feeling that well, but there was a point in Aladdin where I was going with it and I was shocked. So the movie opens up and I immediately am like, this is my worst nightmare. This is exactly what I imagined. It's like a high school dress-up production of Aladdin when we first have Alibaba. And then we get, is it called Street Rat? Or is that the song, Street Rat? And that whole
I think it's One Jump.
One Jump, yeah, you're right, it is One Jump. Was just, for me, was rough. The like overblown ADR voiceover, and you know, I get it. Like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, you need to shoot it live and everything like that, but there is a vast difference in making something very clearly, you know, dubbed over and kind of making it subtle. And I was just like, wow, like we're in for it. And I was kind of laughing because I could see you kind of jumping in your seat, and I was like, oh wow, he's gonna eat this up like ice cream, like we usually joke about. And
I did.
Then I was like, okay, Jafar kind of came into the picture, and I was like, all right, I kind of dig the Jafar. And then Will Smith, you know, the genie himself emerges out of
the lamp.
The lamp. I was gonna I forget the name. The Cave of Wonders. And I was like, okay. And we have Never Had a Friend Like Me, and I didn't hate it. And then there's some jokes that land for me, and I'm like, okay. And then, so Never Had a Friend Like Me, I think is all right. I think it's probably the most carbon copy, or the most like a copy of the original that we've seen here. Besides the fact that he adds, you know, beating and kind of more raps. I mean, like the beats are the same. I mean, down to the waiter and, you know, doing all those kind of same beats. The only difference is that Will Smith doesn't have the same impersonating abilities that Robin Williams had, so he's able to jump through those voices where Will Smith couldn't, but it's still not something where I was like, oh, this is terrible. And then we got Prince Ali, and that song sold me. I thought that was the coolest production of that song, and I thought that was like the one thing to me they really brought to life. And I enjoyed it. They were singing. I mean, the whole production just really, really worked. And I was like, wow, Aladdin is going to be the movie that turns me.
Hey, real quick, you know what's a downfall?
What?
When they released that song, even that fell off.
Yeah.
But when you're watching it in the movie, it's not at all.
Well, because it's funny, because on my Twitter page, there are a few critics that I like, and they were talking about listening to the soundtrack on Spotify, and just how unsettling it feels listening to it by itself.
Yeah, and when you're watching the movie, though, it's not like that.
See, I've not listened to any of it like that.
I have.
But I was shocked because I was just like, okay, like obviously I know we're gonna go here, and they went in the same spot, very much like A Friend Like Me, but it just felt like they put the like that felt like what you wanted to come alive. I guess my problems with this movie and many of these other live action remakes is just I need more of a why, not just because, oh well, it's been 30 years. I think that those animated movies, while animated, are animated for a reason, because they can take the imagination places that, you know, live cinema can't, and I think that that's okay. But of course we deem it as a kid's movie, so we downgrade it, and that's kind of a bummer. But the animation and the things that they did in Aladdin and in many of these original movies were incredible, and sometimes just belong in animation. But that was a scene I felt like they really were able to bring to life. So I had a ball. And then the scene that follows is really funny, and all of a sudden these jokes start landing, and it's Will, and I'm starting to like, man, is Will Smith turning me? Is Aladdin gonna beat out Lion King to be the movie that turns me? And then the third act comes, and the movie just comes to a screeching halt, and it just kind of all falls apart. And reminds you why the original Aladdin was only 90 minutes. See, like Dumbo and like Cinderella, I think I said the same thing. Those movies are really short, yes, because they're made for a kid's attention span, but willingly, they've cut out every unnecessary thing or anything that seems just kind of unnecessary or too much. And this movie, in order to have a full, huge budget and put all these actors and do all these sets, they have to add stuff. So it feels like excess. It feels too long. And that third act just had no life to it at all. I think at the end of the day, this movie isn't like awful. And that to me is surprising. I am surprised that I like this movie as much as I did, though I didn't like it very much. I think, admittedly, it's not a very well shot movie. I think their choreography, and I think it's great that we're able to get some really strong messages, but see, to me, Speechless feels so shoehorned. It feels so forced, and it feels like guys, or hopefully men and women in an executive room just being like, well, we need to put in a song making Jasmine powerful. We have to do that. Let's put it in here. And even in the story, as the plot is unfolding, this song starts and it feels like so out of place. So, I mean, that's just trying to be modern times. And you know what? Is it the worst thing ever? No, because if a 7-year-old girl watches that and she takes something away from it, even though I could really barely hear the lyrics because it's really screamed more than it is sang, good for, and like it'll do good. So I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, I just don't think there was enough why here. It was just more, like you said, revisiting nostalgia, and I don't think they did enough different for me to kind of make it interesting. Yes, it was live action, but at the end of the day, making something where you literally have a character shape-shifting multiple times looks better in animation. I think Aladdin looks better than this movie, because the animation allows you to believe these crazy things and see things that this movie has to cover up with smoke and mirrors and sometimes very questionable CGI. I think that happens a lot in A Whole New World, and I think that's why, for me, A Whole New World was the weakest, less impactful song in this whole entire movie. Well, I think One Jump was the most offensive and just bad. I don't even remember A Whole New World. Like, it was just whoop. But, I mean, and I just don't think because they put enough emphasis in it. They didn't do anything really different. I think there are some other just questionable comedy beats, but I think there are some beats that work. So overall, I don't think it's the worst thing. I guess I'd have to say
it's like a 2?
I'd have to say it's my favorite live action Disney make right now, but I've not liked any. I would probably say like a 1.5, a 2, because I do think that some people could get through the less technical or the less innovative things about it, and there are moments to enjoy here. I definitely laughed, and I definitely heard you laugh out loud and me laugh out loud at the same time, which is quite rare. So I'm not gonna sit here and say like I hated every minute of it, because there was a point where I was like, I think I'm on board, I think I'm on this magic carpet ride, and then I just kind of fell off.
What's funny though? How you keep on saying that there wasn't a lot of new stuff. It was just a lot of the like these remakes. I think that's one of the criticisms in general, that they'll never win. Yeah. Because some people will say what you're saying, and then other people will say, well, why did you change anything?
Well, here's the thing, and this is a really good topic, because like things with Game of Thrones have been coming up, and this is kind of like really out there, but there's just this big division of what people want to see, and that's fair. Like, if you're a person who wants to see Aladdin, you're gonna go see this movie without what I have to say. But if you're someone who's curious about what this movie does for film, the medium, what does it say about our society today, like things like that, which really is what criticism is about. I got in this really long conversation, I know this is going off topic, but someone was like, what's the importance of critics? And you know, maybe I just want to kind of back up this because it's been on my mind literally all week. People was asking, why are critics, you know, people said this person wasn't going to be successful, or this movie wasn't very good, and it went on to be financially successful. Well, financially successful or popularity successful are completely different than criticism successful. And when I see a movie, I am looking at a lot of elements that a lot of people aren't seeing, and I'm not trying to say like, well, I see a movie better than you, because that's not the case. But you have to understand, when I am looking for more than just entertainment or engagement. I am looking for technicality, we're looking for performance, and I think here you have a very bad movie that can make a lot of people happy, right? I guess the easiest example is, a lot of people would agree McDonald's doesn't have the best burgers, but they sell way more burgers than the best burger that you can name. You know what I mean? So, I think that's the best way to sum it up.
It's fair, but I like it. But I think that's why we do good reviews, is because...
Well, yeah, because I think you really capture kind of the general, just do I want to enjoy it and have a good time? But I think, you know, as us, you know, being in this space and talking about criticism and caring about film, we have to kind of talk about it in the bigger conversation, you know? Is Aladdin a movie well, let me ask you this. Is Aladdin one that you could rewatch over and over, you think?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I had a lot of fun.
See, because to me, I was just like, I just would rather go home and watch the original, except that Prince Ali beat. I will definitely YouTube that Prince Ali scene again in the future, because it's that good. And I mean, I'm really shocked that I'm praising this movie at all, because I really was thinking this was going to be a shellfire. So, I mean, anything above a 0.5 to me is a huge success. And
it got
honestly,
1.5 too.
And if anything, it's made me be like, is Lion King gonna do it? Is that gonna be the movie that I give my first positive Disney live action remake to? Because I really hope so. Because they've definitely been, you know, they're growing now in my opinion. And you know what else I think it is too? Cinderella, Dumbo, Beauty and the Beast, Maleficent. Dark, dingy, gray, and also serious. They all want to be so Tim Burton-esque. And I think part of it being in the Prince Ali sequence is bright and fun and silly, and I think I think a 6-year-old can watch that movie and laugh and have fun and want to dance, but an adult like yourself can sit there and watch and remember. Where I think, like, Dumbo is just depressing. I don't know a 7-year-old who would like this new Dumbo. I don't know a 7-year-old maybe who likes Beauty and the Beast, but that's probably because they watched the other Beauty and the Beast movie. I think that there was just some missing Disney magic, and I think I said that in my Beauty and the Beast review. That kind of appears here, and that made me happy, because that just made me feel like I was in Disneyland. It brings that kid out of you, and that's the kind of energy that you want to see out of a movie like this. So I do give them credit. They definitely shot for the stars, and at least hit a few.
Next week.
I'm shocked. Are you shocked? Did you think you were going to love it?
Yeah, but I was already hoping I would love it.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm just a big Aladdin fan.
What was your favorite song?
In this one?
Mm-hmm. Was that wrong? Because I love Prince. I thought that song was so good. And then the whole scene after was so funny.
Yeah, it was good. I just enjoyed the movie. I just had a lot of fun, you know, and then as I heard all the songs, it just reminded me, and it's...
Jafar, you liked?
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess I didn't care for him.
Oh, really?
Know?
See, I really like Jafar.
I like how they used the Iago.
Yeah?
Yeah,
they used him literally...
Like a real...
Yeah, like, I mean, I was thinking about that, because it was so funny, because I was like, I had heard someone said the bird again, and I was like, oh, like, they created Iago on the idea, like, oh, a little bird told me. Because literally the whole movie, a little bird tells Jafar. So I thought that was pretty clever. You know, I think it's really cool to see.
I like Raja.
I love to be able to see a culture that we normally don't really get to see in mainstream media get like some love in, and you know, we get some really great dancing and some choreography scenes that just kind of show you some differences and diversity, which is always a good thing.
I'll send it to you if they release it, because I'm sure I'll see it before you.
Yeah.
And I'm sad because you didn't like it, the whole new world part. They took 2 cranes. One with camera, one with them on it, and it's amazing how they filmed it. So I'm just sad you didn't like it.
It wasn't even that I didn't like it, because I didn't like One Jump Far. Like, that was one that upset me more. It just didn't even impact me. Like, I can't even remember really, once they get on the carpet, just kind of where it goes after that. I mean, like, that's like genuinely a chunk of the movie that I don't remember. And that to me is like pretty telling. Like, just it didn't leave an impactful, and that's the song, you know. That's fine though. I mean, you know, they obviously want to push the Speechless. You know, they want to get the best original song. That's the song you're gonna want to push. You know, and I think with this movie and being the attitude of women are not meant to stand aside. I mean, obviously, all the complaints that we heard about Jasmine when we were very young and growing up, like, oh, Jasmine, they definitely made her a very strong character, and the bond between her dad really good. I mean, there's good stuff here for kids, and I think that has good messages. So again, if the movie has good morals, I mean, and good messages to spew out there and shows diversity, I'm not going to hate on it. But at the end of the day, there are some very questionable things Guy Ritchie did here with the camera. And
do you think they made a mistake hiring him as director?
I thought he was the most interesting director, but because I liked it more than the other ones, I would say no.
No, fair.
I mean, at least like I said, at least he captured that magic. For a minute, I was like there as a kid. Like he got that, and I think that's really hard to do. Like when you walk into Disneyland, there's just this change. And I think that's really hard to capture in film, and I think Disney's been able to do it for a long time. I don't think any of these live-action remakes have, but I think this Aladdin did.
Well,
for a little bit.
For you, I think Lion King with
that's gonna be
Chef
so much.
Iron Man 1 and The Mandalorian and all his other momentum, I don't think he's gonna let you down.
I've said Jungle Book. As much as I love, I didn't like Jungle Book. I was one of the few critics, but it did look amazing.
That's the first thing. You can't have the lions look crap.
But for me, the thing that Lion King constantly has isn't even the look of the movie. It's because if I got to cast that movie, I wouldn't have cast it so well. Like, that movie's casting to me...
The first one?
Yeah.
The animated?
No. Well, the animated too is incredible. But no, this one coming, like when they show you just that cast list, that to me is like the most impressive piece of marketing. Because there's so much talent. And like, I like everyone. So I'm really like, just based on talent alone, I think that it's going to be really hard. Like, they're going to have to really, like, for me not to like it at all.
So think about it, the Jungle Book effects, the visuals, with this cast list. Come on!
And hopefully the magic out of Aladdin only throughout the entire movie. It's possible.
And that's why I'm saying Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
Because I don't care for Guy Ritchie, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not my favorite.
I mean,
I know a lot of people...
but yeah, you love this. So maybe he is now.
No,
maybe to know.
I think this was more of Aladdin, It's like an MCU film.
I gotcha.
It's already templated, really.
Yeah.
Not to take anything away from the directors, or the Russos or anything like that, but they're very templated.
Do you know if there's any talk about moving forward with like sequels and stuff?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The Return of Jafar, the King of Thieves. So, but it all depends if it makes money. But I don't think anyone even doubts it's gonna make money.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna. I mean, it is like 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's fresh. So I don't think that's really the question. I think more of a question is how much money they're gonna make. How much money is it gonna make? And if it makes enough where they feel like, okay, yeah, we should move forward.
Well, an interesting week here. I've never been like so baffled. I was so shocked. So good on them for at least shaking it up, because I was at least intrigued for the 2 hours. Until that last kind of 30 minutes, I was like, oh, okay, let's get there. But next week,
The King of Monsters.
A movie, again, that a lot of marketing has made me go like, huh.
It's funny because when me and you
and I were jacked at first.
Well, the first time me and you talked about it, we were like, it's like a carne asada French fries, if you will. It's just like, give it all to me. And then the more we saw it, we were like...
Oh, this is just a few fries and a couple pieces of meat.
And I think it might rhyme. Do they cook it all the way? Yeah.
And they just released a new trailer, and even that trailer to me was like even pushing me further away. I'm just like, oh man, like I'm really concerned about next week.
I actually just sit there now kind of wondering like,
But we do have Toy Story 4 coming. We do have It 2 coming. We do have Lion King coming. We do have Star Wars Episode 9 coming. This year has gotten me so jacked, I can't even believe it, and I just hope that we have nothing but good things to come.
Actually, I'm excited about Ma.
Yeah, Ma has definitely turned
Octavia
some heads.
Spencer,
we have Rocket Man coming out as well.
I am not excited for Rocket Man in any way, shape, or form.
Well, ever since that one other bio music, we don't say the name here, won all those Oscars for whatever reason they won. I'm sure biopics are going to be something we see a lot of,
Yeah, not excited for Rocket Man.
Well, I'm an Elton John fan. Like I'm.
Yeah, I know you are.
So I'm hoping.
And I'll be in the theater next to you.
And you know what? I am so excited to see Taron Egerton do something like this. I think it's a really good opportunity. It's a really big moment for.
Well, it's impressive that Elton John's actually going on talk shows and singing, letting him sing it, and people are loving it. So I gotta give that props.
And just like there are a few times in an actor's career where you could tell it's a really pivotal moment, and I think this is the moment where, like, if this is a guy who is going to be around for a long time and have his name mentioned 20 years from now, or he's going to be the guy who was in Kingsman, 20 years ago. And I think that's a big thing. So
he was the Kingsman guy, right? Or it's like, oh, of course they know who that. Yeah,
exactly.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. So, all right, well. Next week, Godzilla, Age of Monsters. Or
if you want to go, just let us know. Comment below. Let us know.
Yeah, even though we said we weren't super excited, we're still going to be there, and we're still going to have fun.
Yes.
So even good movie or bad, we have a good time. So make sure to join us here, AMC Town Square next week at 10 o'clock, or for Rocket Man if you want to listen to some Elton John.
And ChaseTheCinema.com is known as
Film Lovers website.